Okay, it's Monday the 3rd of December, and I got a phone call earlier from Nicolai, the builder, saying the work is all done. He is coming in tomorrow with his vacuum, he says, to clean up, because the plasterers sanded everything back today, so everything is covered in dust. Look, you can even see handprints. And I walked around going, oh, is that smooth? And touched it and ended up with stuff all over my hands. So I'm not going to do that again. I wiped down all the handles as well because they were covered in dust. It's amazing how much gets covered in dust from sanding. I would have thought they'd have some sort of vacuum thing to help reduce that, but I don't know. I wasn't here, fortunately. I was at work, but everything is covered in dust. You can just see where things have been moved. We had some dust before, but this is like really, even the cats are covered in dust. They're walking in and sitting down and getting up, and their tails and everything are covered in dust. Look, you can even see that there was something on the floor there while things were happening, because you can see the shape of it. And hopefully he's going to vacuum that off the curtains. Everything is just, but it is done, and so it's going to be handed over to me, basically, to do the undercoat and then painting, and the kitchen is going to be starting to get installed probably in the next couple days, because Alicia's got time off to help me with that. So it's a lot smoother than it was. Oh yeah, and we have, I don't know if that's called Scotia, the boards around the top. They look really good. It's going to look really good once it's all painted and it's the same color. So I'm going to do the skirting boards after I do the flooring, because with the floating flooring, you have to put the skirting boards above them. You either have to cut into them or you attach the skirting boards above the wood flooring. So the expansion of the wood, it has room to expand. But yeah, so everything's been framed up. All the wood's been done. There was a gap here. And when I saw Nicolai this morning, I pointed that out, and he thought they were going to plaster in that little gap. But he's come up with a pretty interesting solution. So he's basically put another strip right there, so that covers up the gap that was between those two bits. So when it's painted white, it'll probably look perfectly fine. Yep, and there's the hallway and this part here. Also, when he showed up, I said to him how they'd plastered over the wallpaper, which I thought was odd, and he agreed it was odd. So I pulled the wallpaper off, and it looks like they've plastered out a bit over there, but you can see the different colors, so it's still wet. So I don't know if I'm just meant to sand that back later on. It's smooth now, at least, and I'm probably going to just wallpaper these walls, which is what I did originally, because when I took the original wallpaper off, I discovered that they weren't really good walls. So to get them up to condition to paint was in the too hard basket. So yep, so that's all done. But when I say everything got covered in dust, I mean, I know I don't have a door here on my bedroom, because that's essentially the door to my bedroom. But I did say when they were doing the plastering, the sanding in the other part, please close the door. I don't know if they did or not, because I wasn't here. But have a look at my plants. They are covered in dust. So I'm going to have to probably take them outside. The quickest thing would be probably to spray them outside. Look at that. It's like it snowed on there. And the counter, I had some dust here, but so much more. And like that plant was not like that when I left this morning. So everything is covered in dust. So I'm going to have to get a vacuum and clean things off. Even my bed, I think I'm going to have to clean the pillows off before I do anything, before I go to bed tonight. And I had in this part of the room, see, this one's not so bad. So they must have just shut it when they did it. Oh, I forgot to check here. Did they sand it back here? Yeah, actually. Oh no, that is sanded back. See, now it got on my fingers. But it looks like they might have sanded back my patchwork there. I'm not sure. I can't tell. And here's Stitch getting covered in dust as he walks around. And of course it's raining, so the cats coming in from outside have got wet paws. And I'm hoping ingesting this is not going to be too bad because they can't help but do that. Yep, and so then he's put the board around the doors. And the interesting thing is, well, this handle's not done because I didn't have the screws long enough. I only had one long enough, so the other one will have to wait. But the interesting thing is the inside. It's like you're in, if you were to shut yourself in here, you'd think you were just inside a door. I can see the dust right there. Better not lean against, yep, the wall. So hopefully he's got a vacuum that vacuums the dust off the walls. Oh, I see what he did here now. So this part there, that's why that goes up there, I see. Because there was the gap. There was too wide of a gap here. So he would have had to get a very wide piece. And if he did, it probably wouldn't come up high enough here. So he's done the same thing that he did on the other door. So this almost looks like it's flush. And then here. So the other thing I'll have to ask him is he going to putty over all the nail parts, or do I need to do that? But see, you can see the dust just sitting on top of everything. Anyway, yep, and so this room didn't get done because this is the one I'm going to work on. And when I do this, I'm just going to do probably everything, sand it all back by hand, and try to keep the dust at bay. But when I came in, the cat's food was just covered in dust. This was all covered in dust. What I find a bit odd is the garage got covered in dust. You see? You can see the marks. I put that tray out here this morning. That's the dish drainer. And it was clean. And I set it there upside down, and I went out, and I've come back, and it's covered in dust. So all I can imagine is while they were doing that, for some reason, they left this back door open. Because if the door was shut, I wouldn't think there'd be dust. Everything I touch out here is covered in dust, so that's a bit disappointing. But I guess that's what happens if you're not there to ask questions, or if you don't understand how things are done in the building trade. But Neculai's going to come and clean it all up and make it look lovely tomorrow. So then it's all mine. So thanks for watching again. And the next video will hopefully be showing some progress with either painting or parts of the kitchen put together. Take care. Bye-bye.